Well, we're just back from the Magic Kingdom again.
Oh, isn't that always fun?
We love going to Disneyland, and so we took yet another vacation to Disneyland. I know a lot of people come here just to ride the rides, and well, we do too.
Right.
But I actually consider coming to Disneyland a form of research.
Oh, no kidding.
Because I think our vision is so aligned with Walt Disney's when it comes to the things that interested him, like these Dietz lanterns.
Yes.
And any places like this in Frontierland, look at the Dietz Pioneer.
I know, I love it. I want it for a streetlight.
Oh, and they're all through Frontierland and stuff. A lot of it's been modernized, of course, and changed around. This is the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and this is the Big Thunder Mountain.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it cool? It's all made out of course, concrete mortar mix,
right?
Really. And this is fairly modern by Disneyland standards go. But this is part of the research I want to do, because look at how they work this mortar mix to make it look like stone.
They sure make it look realistic.
And they keep getting the technique better and better and better. This is a mine tunnel entrance, a portal into the mine tunnel, and this was such an inspiration to me, and I'm sort of mimicking this on our Garden Railroad. And over there, that's Rainbow Ridge.
Oh, neat.
Absolutely my favorite place at Disneyland, and they saved a little tiny slice of it here in the middle of the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
That's cool.
Now, while this looks like this today, my first experience here was in 1956.
Oh my goodness!
How about that?
Wow!
And there's another one of those portals. This was just the mine train. It was a very quiet, calm little ride. And here's Rainbow Ridge.
There it is.
And like I say, a small piece of that still survives in the middle of the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Clarion, I like that.
Oh, but I loved this spot right here. As a kid in 1956, I could have stood here all day and just taken this scene in right here.
It looks a lot like where I grew up.
Yeah.
I kid you not. Our town looked just like that.
And I used to go down there all the time just to take in Highway 89 because I loved it. This is slightly later. This is 1959. You can tell because there's a Matterhorn.
Oh, yes.
But this is the Rainbow Ridge as I remember it, and I loved it.
Oh, yes.
It looks somewhat different than this today, but you know, I still have to put feet in this sacred spot and just take it all in without actually riding the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad because I have no interest in throwing up.
No.
This is Casa de Fritos.
For Dia de los Muertos.
Yes, we came for Halloween, but that's also Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los
Muertos. And it's all dressed up for that here at Casa de Fritos. This used to be where you got on the mule rides and the stagecoach ride through the Painted Desert.
Right.
So here that is in 1959, and we're looking down on that exact same spot. And over here we can see this really neat mine that was only here for a few years.
Oh my.
It blew my mind when I saw it as a kid. Loved it. Here's the stagecoach ride, and you can see the dirt road, and there's the mule train.
Oh, neat.
And you could get on these mules over here, right where we were standing at that figure.
Oh, that's really cool.
Isn't that neat?
Wow.
And here's that same thing at ground level. You can see the stagecoach and the mule train there, and notice that beautiful tunnel portal.
Isn't that cool?
And there's the mine up above.
Wow.
I just to me this was classic.
No kidding.
Just amazing.
Magical.
And here's taking the train through that same mine portal that really inspired me. This is kind of the whole inspiration for the portal that goes through the wall and out into the yard.
Right.
Ours has to be much larger than this, but there it is. There's another angle on it. And I just, that portal just, as a kid, that was my first experience with a tunnel portal. And I just thought, that's beautiful.
Oh, that is awesome.
And there's our tunnel portal, and you can see ours has to be much taller in order to clear the trains, and I've added some stuff like the vent in the roof and a few things, but once I get the rest of the detail out on the wall, it's going to look a bit more like the original portal for the tunnel into Nature's Wonderland.
Oh, neat.
So here's our tunnel through the wall.
The scary one.
The scary one. This is right after we cut the hole.
Ah.
And sans portal at this point. So I detailed out the inside, and this will all be detailed in a show once it's all finished, but I put stonework on the inside of that, and then constructed the portal for the inside here, which is actually in the bathroom.
Yeah, it sure is.
So I have to be a little bit careful running it out onto the wall because we need access to this thing called a toilet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, and the toilet doesn't want to have access to the train.
No. Okay, back to early Disneyland. So this is the other side of that tunnel as we exit out into Nature's Wonderland.
Oh boy.
And there's my version of that same tunnel portal on the outside.
The exit to Nature's Wonderland.
The exit to Nature's Wonderland and the mortar work, stonework that's out here. Here's another tunnel on that same train. And the neat thing about this particular tunnel is it's still there.
Yes.
They don't use it.
No, but there it is.
But there it is, right there.
Oh, it says keep out, abandoned mine.
That's that exact same spot. Now it's necessary to ride either the Columbia boat or the big Mark Twain riverboat in order to see the rest of the surviving part of Nature's Wonderland mine train over here. It's a little worse for wear.
A little bit, but it looks authentic to me.
Well, they intentionally screwed it up because they thought it looks really as a nice part of Disneyland. Mm-hmm. But that was the original ride over there, and so it's really neat to see that a pretty good-sized piece of that track survives, and there's the other end of that portal that we looked at the other side.
Oh, neat.
And it just disappears back in through there. Isn't that cool?
That is so awesome.
And anyway, riding both the Columbia and the Mark Twain is just a really fun thing to do.
Oh, I love it.
That's, again, some of our favorite rides here.
Right.
So our first trip around the rivers of America was on the big sailing ship Columbia.
Right.
The first American ship to circumnavigate the globe.
Oh, wow.
And a fixture here on the rivers of America at Disneyland.
It was back in 1787 that she first set sail from Boston Harbor, going all the way around the Horn and sailing onward to the Pacific Northwest, Hawaii and China.
Avast!
Avast.
I'm not sure what that means exactly.
I don't know. Hello.
Now, if I'm remembering it right, and I'm probably not because that's me, but back in the earlier days, they used to have a much larger crew on this ship, and they'd actually climb up these rat lines and into the rigging.
Oh, man, they better be agile.
Yeah, there's probably safety reasons why they gave that up.
I would think so.
As I recall, a couple of young guys would go climbing up the rat lines and onto the yard arms and so on. Oh, look, the train.
There it goes.
Now, that is absolutely our favorite ride here at Disneyland, and it passes right along the backside of the rivers of America.
Yes.
Well, we find ourselves arriving back at the dock here in Frontierland.
Oh, there it is.
And right near here is one of the strangest juxtapositions ever created by Disney.
Uh-huh.
And I know Walt was kind of against this kind of thing, but they have done it tastefully that you have to go through a tunnel to get from this space, but that takes you over to Galaxy's Edge.
I wanted to see this so bad the last time we were there, but it wasn't done yet.
It was all under construction, and we were
Yes.
trying to get sneak peeks. And, but wow, look, the Millennium Falcon and Galaxy's Edge. And of course, I'm very interested in how they did all of this stucco work and stonework.
Yes.
Because that's my current fascination, is how do you do that sort of thing on the Garden Railroad?
Right, and it's the electrical connections. I wanted to see all that stuff.
Yeah, it does sort of look like an Xfinity a wiring hub out next to the freeway, some sort of G5 cell phone tower.
Exactly. To me, no model is complete without wiring.
Well, it also sort of strikes a weird point that I've always wondered, and that's if the people of Star Wars were capable of interstellar transportation, how come they never figured out how to work a paintbrush and a broom?
Exactly. That's been my thoughts all along.
So but that's just part of the Star Wars look and feel, is that it's all beat up and weathered. And I approve of that because it's sort of a railroading thing.
Yes.
Okay, back to Frontierland. This time we're going to go around the rivers of America on the Mark Twain.
Oh, cool.
And this to me is the much more interesting boat. And we did a whole history on the riverboats. Here's a link to that. It's possible that Disneyland wouldn't even be here in Orange County if it weren't for this riverboat.
Isn't that something?
But they needed a bigger piece of land just to accommodate that boat.
Right.
So they moved south. We're actually going to do a short follow-up show here with an interview with this guy, because there's some controversy in our original video about how this boat is operated, as well as, to use a pun, a deep dive into Fowler's Ditch.
Oh, gee.
This is another one of my favorite places at Disneyland, and a lot of people do. Fowler's Ditch? What is Fowler's Ditch? This is Fowler's Ditch.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a really interesting place, and with some very interesting technology involved over here. So we're going to do a bit of a follow-up on how they're able to pull the Columbia here into Fowler's Ditch when they're not using it. And in our original History of Disneyland video, we talked about Ward Kimball's fascination with these Nickelodeons and orchestrions, and 2 of those survive here at Disneyland.
Isn't that wild?
So we'll follow up with that. Oh, and this is another one of Disney's lanterns, another Dietz Pioneer, and Disney's collection of other Dietz lanterns. And just a whole sort of study and look at Disney's fascination with them. Because, well, we share the same fascination.
Oh, I've loved lanterns since I was a little girl.
And boy, Disney had the best collection of lanterns. So we'll have a few follow-up shows on how to make stonework out of mortar and so on and
Right.
so forth. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. And if you're not a subscriber, here comes the golden opportunity.
Right.
Or should we say the blue opportunity? The blue button. Right there. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Tuesday.
Right.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.